Today we will cover how to use the Learning at Home course that we recently added to our Teachers Dashboard. This new feature allows you to assign pre-made design missions or create your own and send them directly to your students through the dashboard. We have also created guides for parents and caregivers to help them get set up and see that their children excel. We created this webinar for existing users of Makers Empire. If you are brand new to Makers Empire, you are free to follow along or reach out to me and I can help you further. For this webinar, you will need to know how to sign in to Makers Empire, how to get your students signed in, and have a basic understanding of the software. If you're unsure of how to do this, the guide that I mentioned in a moment will cover it. Okay, so let's jump into the demonstration. You'll need to go to www.makersempire.com and log in. The first thing we need to do is star our classes. So go over to Class Management, Classes, and then star your class. This will highlight in yellow once you've started. You can choose multiple classes if you wish to assign them lessons, or just the one. If you're a Google Classroom user, you will need to set up your classes in Google Classroom first, then log into Makers Empire with your Google Classroom details. In Google Classroom, just simply star your class there. If you haven't created a class, just click Add a Class and then add your students. As mentioned before, if you're unaware of how to do this, please reach out to me separately. Now, under Class Management, we're going to go to Teacher Missions. Now you have two options here. You can create your own mission by creating a title and then the mission brief. The mission brief is what the students will see once they're in the app to know what to do. Or you can choose our pre-made Makers Empire missions. You can choose the year level of the lesson plan that you want to assign. And then assign it. Once you have assigned your mission to your students, you will need to provide parents with your students' login details along with a copy of the parents' guide. If you are using Google Classroom, you will just need to provide the student username and password for Google Classroom and then send it to the parent. If you do not use Google Classroom, then you will need to go to Classes, select your class, drop down, and then username and password list. As you can see, that'll show you the username and the passwords for all the students in that class. Now, we're going to go to Resources and Learning at Home Guide. This will take you to the web page where you can download the Learning at Home Guide for teachers. Now, if you skip down to page 4, this will give you a template of the email you can send home to teachers. As you can see here, it gives you a section for username and password. So you just go to your student list, select the student, and then pop that into the email. You'll also need to send the Learning at Home Parents and Carers Guide, and the link is available just underneath that on page 4. Both the Teacher's Guide and the Parent Guide will have a section to guide you through and help you to show that your students excel. Now, your students will log in to the Makers Empire 3D app. If they are in Google Classroom, they'll sign in with Google. They'll still sign in here. Now, if they click into their profile, you can see that they've got a little message icon here, which means so they know they've been assigned a mission. And click into messages, and they can see here that you have assigned them to Amazing Arena. They just need to click on the red text, and they'll be taken to their mission. And it'll explain what to do there. I'll click Start and get started. They just need to give their design a title and then click Finish. So once they have designed their mission, you can go and assess it. So under Class Management again, you have View and Assess Student Designs. So you have a number of fields here that you can choose. So you choose the class. In this case, we're selecting Teacher Missions. You've got Assessment Status, and I'm going to choose Mission Title. And then you can see all the different lessons that you have assigned. So I'm going to choose Amazing Arena. You will then select the design. And then you can give it a result. Satisfactory, above satisfactory, or below satisfactory. If you choose below satisfactory, they'll just have a little message come up asking them to edit their design. Now you can put a comment here if you want, or you can do a pre-populated one that we've added already. And you can also provide tokens to your students as well. Once you assess the student's work, they'll get a notification in the app. Actually down here, it'll say mission passed. So if they click on the mission, it'll say it's passed, or it will say please go in and edit again. So when they click tick, it'll go back to their design. Now if you've assigned them tokens, they'll have a little message come up again. So they'll go to their profile, back to messages, and you can see here that they've got tokens, so they just need to click on the token icon, and that'll give them the tokens. And that concludes our session. Now signing and assessing is now easier than ever. Thanks again for joining us.